Your brain can't tell the difference between what you imagine and what is real. And here is how to use it to your advantage. My name is Dr. Comfort, a medical doctor and professional voiceover artist. Here, I'm going to be sharing content on productivity, systems, and structures that can help you build as a multi-talented creative without experiencing burnout or overwhelm. People think this is just a cute craft project. However, it is psychology backed with strategy. Before you doubt the power of vision boarding, listen to this ancient story that is actually backed by psychology. Once upon a time, there was a young boy who worked with his father-in-law, and it was time for him to leave. So he went to the father-in-law saying, I would like to leave to start my own enterprise with my family. But the father-in-law said, there is no way you can go with any ram that does not have spots or are not speckled. However, there were just few rams or sheep that were speckled or spotted. So this guy got an inspiration from God, and guess what he did? He placed some striped poplar plants in front of these animals where they mated and drank water. So it meant that wherever it is they were mating, they would keep seeing these poplar plants that had been striped, right? And guess what? That particular stripe got imprinted in their DNA, and they began to give birth to speckled animals, spotted animals. These were animals that didn't have any form of spot. Naturally, they shouldn't have actually given birth to speckled animals. But because they kept seeing it over and over and over, that thing which they were beholding, they began to birth it. And this is the power of vision boarding. According to neuroscience, your brain has something called RAS, reticular activating system. It's a filter that determines the information that gets your attention. So this means that when you begin to put certain things in your vision over and over again, RAS will cause you to begin to see more things in alignment with that vision. For example, imagine you had a conversation with your friend where he told you that he noticed that there are lots of red cars on the streets. Let me tell you the truth. When you go out, even out of that street, you begin to notice that you're seeing lots of red cars. That didn't mean that there were more red cars. What just happened is RAS paid attention to the conversation you had and made you to begin to pay more attention to it. Just like I mentioned, it's a filter. So it filters out other colors of cars and makes you begin to see more red cars. Now apply this to vision boarding. When you set a vision before your eyes and say, okay, this year I'm going to make sure that I reach this amount of followers, for example, on YouTube, you'll begin to see that when you go online to check for content, those are the kind of content that will begin to catch your attention. And you just begin to feel like, why is it that I've not been seeing this type of content before? Because you've already placed this vision over and over before your eyes and begins to filter out other information online and causes you to begin to focus on this information. This also happens when you watch movies. Have you ever watched a particular movie that is so scary and all of a sudden you just felt like there was a ghost in the room with you? What happened? Because RAS made you begin to feel like this thing is actually real. So you began to have so much fear. I remember what I said in the beginning of this video. Your brain is unable to differentiate the things that you imagine from the things that are actually real. So when you watch a movie, of course you know it's a movie. Of course you know these things are not real. But because your brain cannot actually differentiate what you imagine from the things that are real, you might even begin to get scared. You might begin to cry when somebody dies in a movie, when you know that the person did not actually die in reality. Now let that be what work for you in your vision boarding. Let it be so real that your brain cannot actually differentiate this imagination, this vision from what has happened. Studies from Dr. Gail Matthews, a psychologist, showed that people who visualize their goals and write them down, 42% of them get to actually actualize that goal, because the same brain region that is activated when you put visual imagery in front of it is the same that is activated when you actually do the work. So when you begin to put the vision boards in front of you, it's more like you're prepping your brain for that goal to actually come to pass. But this is where most people stop. They create a vision board that is so cute looking, nice, and keep staring at it for a week and stop there. No, the vision board is not actually the end. It's the beginning. It's supposed to serve as the foundation for your life plans, for the goals that you're actually going to set for your entire year. Now, let's get to the process of actually creating that good vision board. Step one, retreat and pray. Who is the best person to tell you about what will happen next year than the person who already sees the end from the beginning? I mean, you're in 2026 already. Who is the best person to tell you what will happen December than God? So before you start thinking of getting magazines, getting scissors, going to Pinterest, get pictures, first thing first, go to God and seek counsel. Ask Him what is actually saying you should pay attention to this year. For every aspect of your life, what is God saying you should focus on? Step two, ensure that you create vision board that encapsulates every aspect of your life. Remember, I talked about the wheel of life in the New Year resolution video. If you haven't watched it, you should actually do. The wheel of life shows different aspects of your life from relationship, family, spirituality, finance, health, fitness, career, business, every aspect of your life, community building or legacy work. Now, you want to ensure that when you are creating your vision board, it actually encapsulates every area. So your vision board does not just have things that are related to your finance. It should encapsulate it so that when you look at it, every picture that are seen on this vision board should take you back to the goals for every of these aspects of life. Step three, use the movie approach. Remember what I said about watching a movie and it looks so real that you can get emotional? That is what you want to do. Ensure that you take pictures that when you see them, it just triggers this emotion inside of you that makes you feel like, I really have to get this goal. Don't just take random pictures that you see online and just say, okay, I'm just going to use it. Look for that particular picture that when you see it, it just makes you feel like, I have to get this done. Ensure that you do that. Also, if possible, you can also maximize AI. You can check out some AI tools. I know you know of Nano Banana, and if you want to use ChatGPT to generate images that actually look like the you that you want to become. For example, you can just tell it to show you a version of you that is fit, right? A version of you that is reading, all those things, such that when you're seeing it, it just seems like it's real. However, it hasn't come to pass. But your brain is able to see it like this particular thing is real, even if it is just in that imagined form. So you can use the movie approach. Step four, keep looking at it. Don't just create this vision board and just dump it somewhere in your gallery. If possible, print it out. And if you can't for now, make sure it is somewhere that you can keep seeing it over and over. It can be your wallpaper, it can be your WhatsApp wallpaper where you know that whenever you're chatting, you just keep seeing this image over and over again. The plan is for you to keep seeing it until it becomes so real that you feel like you must achieve this. Step five, turn each vision board into a life plan. Remember, I mentioned the wheel of life. So everything is coming like a set and a subset. So the major one is creating the vision board. Now you have the wheel of life, like let's say 7 of these things, these different aspects of life. And now you are having a plan for each of them. So you can take spirituality and say, for this year, seeing that this is the goal, I want to have more insight of the word of God. I do not just want to go to church, but I want to really be groomed about different aspects of God's word, right? So what are the things you want to do? For example, it can be like, for this year, I'm going to read 5 books on spirituality that will grow my relationship with Jesus, right? So after you've picked that 5 books for this year, and then you're going to be listening to more messages, more spiritual based podcast. So you can say every month I'm going to read a spiritual book, or every quarter I'm going to read a spiritual book, and then every day, every morning I'm going to listen to messages, right? Maybe when I'm washing plates, when I'm doing my house chores or something. So that makes it smart. That makes it something that you can actually get to do and not just vague, something that you are wishing. The vision board is not supposed to be a wishing list. It's not just supposed to be something that you just wish that, oh my God, one day I hope you come to pass. It should be something that you are using to build an active goal that you can break down from yearly goal to quarterly goal to monthly goal to weekly goal So daily goal that becomes a to-do list that actually is interconnected with each other. Step 6, review and reflect. Now that you already have your vision board ready, you have your goals yearly, monthly, all the way to daily. What you want to do to ensure that you don't get swamped up by all this is reflection. So you want to ensure that you break down these reflections just like you made your goals. So you want to have your daily reflections. So it might just be like 5 minutes. How many things were you able to do that were connected to that particular goal? Why weren't you able to achieve the things that you planned on doing that were in your to-do list? Now you understand that your to-do list is not just something you're doing spontaneously, but they're all interconnected to the major network, which is your vision board. So you want to see this problem so that you can quickly nip it in the bud and focus on it the next day. So for the next day, you realize, okay, yesterday I was unable to wake up early to pray because I slept late. And why did I sleep late? I slept late because I was binging movies. So what should I do differently today? I want to make sure that my screen time is up once it's 9 p.m. so I can sleep early and wake up early tomorrow to hit the targets that I have. Do you understand? So the moment you start thinking in that direction, you realize that you begin to get closer to your goal because you are not waiting till the end of the year to reflect. You're not waiting till the end of the month. We are doing it daily. So stop treating your vision board like a cute craft project. Start seeing it as a connection to your life plan and your life goal. Just like I mentioned earlier, let it relate with your yearly life plan that goes down to the milestones of your quarterly life plan and then breaks down into your monthly plan, weekly plan, daily plan. Let everything be interconnected. Don't just wake up one morning and say, this is my to-do list for today. That should not be. If you're even part of this community, you shouldn't be doing that. If you've been doing that, close your eyes. So that is all I'm going to say for today. See you in my next video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video so more people can get to know about what we are doing here and also learn. So you can share it with your friend so that they have a more structured year and you guys can hit that goal together.